Oh man, I'm so excited about summer barbecues. They're gonna love this beef. Got it all seasoned up. Oh, it's so gonna be so good. Just gonna let that sit. Oh, coleslaw, my favorite. I just learned how to cut really nice and thin. This coleslaw is gonna be the best coleslaw we've had all summer long. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Oh, my grill's ready. Let me go cook this real quick. Look at that. Do you want to talk about like this is what not to do? So this is what not to do. As you can see, what we've done is we've used some raw meat on a cutting board and then immediately used some fresh vegetables that in coleslaw would be used just raw. We wouldn't be cooking it. And this is an example of how things get cross-contaminated. And all this red is blood, and with that blood there's also really bad bacteria and germs that can make you sick. So I know this is really really gross looking, but this is actually what can happen. It does happen in many people's kitchens all across the world. So it's really important to make sure that you know what you're doing. So let's see how to do this properly. And I just learned this new coleslaw recipe. I am so excited to share this with my friends. And it's going to be so tasty. Oh, speaking of tasty, man, I am hungry. Wonder what Jessica's doing. Hope she's going to be able to make it tonight. Man, those mosquitoes are out already. What time is it? Oh, only got 20 more minutes. Hurry up. I need to throw some mustard in here. Where can I put the mustard? Put it in the refrigerator. Love this. It's so tasty. Just a little bit more on to do. There we go. Let me go see where they are. As you could have just seen, my alter ego came in and did some cooking, and she didn't do a very good job of keeping everything nice and clean. As you may have noticed, she didn't wash her hands when she first started, so her hands were already dirty, and she started working with the cabbage right away, and then she went to eat something, so she picked up some bacteria here, and then she scratched herself, picked up some bacteria there, she touched her phone, she touched her hair. She moved all around the kitchen and touching all sorts of things, just spreading bacteria everywhere. And so we added some coloring so that you could see some of the germs that she spread in doing so. So here on the cabbage you can see where she touched the bread, and there's some red coloring where some bacteria would have gone. Now in the bowl you can see that this is also red because of some of the bacteria that was from the phone and from touching her skin and her hair. You can't really see it very well, but on this handle there's even some red from where she touched the bacteria. And again on this mustard here. And even on our table there's sprays of bacteria that's just gone everywhere. So just another example of why it's really important to make sure that you've washed your hands and that you're following safe procedures, because it's very easy and these things do really happen. They just happen in a way that you can't see with red food dye. One final thing that she did wrong, and maybe you didn't notice, you have to be pretty astute, is she had her hair down. Hair is also a source of germs, and it's also gross when you get that in your food. Make sure that your hair is back and that she didn't have any jewelry on, which is good. Make sure that you also don't wear any jewelry or anything else. So do whatever you can to make sure that your food is safe for everyone to eat. Some other things to keep in mind when you're working in the kitchen is how to dress safely and appropriately. So you'll notice that every time I come in the kitchen I'm wearing an apron, and that's in order to keep my clothes clean and to keep them tidy. Another thing is that I always wear long pants, you might not be able to see on the video, but that's to protect my legs from any time that there might be something that spills, it's very hot, or something that's very dangerous. I also always wear closed-toed shoes, and again, that's for anything that spills or drops, and it's just a good practice to make sure that you're keeping your toes safe. Another thing is I try to wear slip-proof shoes, which you may or may not have, but if you're going to be working a lot in the kitchen, it might be worth the investment. And so those slip-resistant shoes will make it a little bit more difficult to slip if something were to happen. Other things to keep in mind, which we've already talked about, is the type of jewelry that you wear. It's a good idea to take any dangling earrings out. Maybe a stud would be fine, but dangling earrings have the chance to lose beads or to fall out completely without you noticing into the food. Again, not wearing rings, not wearing bracelets, and having your hair pulled back, keeping your fingernails trimmed, no nail polish when possible, and just making sure that the work that you're doing is safe and that you're also staying safe.